Hello YouTubers, Speedster Johnny here. I'm really not quite sure what to make of this. I've called it a hillbilly encounter, and I don't mean that to be a derisive remark. He seemed to be a fine gentleman, very sensitive to my time and my space, and he expressed quite a bit of curiosity about my Spyder, which I thought was interesting and well, maybe a little bit flattering. He had said that he never had much luck with tricycles, and I'm thinking he probably meant as a kid, because they seem to be a little bit unstable, and he wondered if the Y chassis, as they call what the Spyder has, because of the two wheels in the front and the single wheel in the back, that it might be a little bit more stable. You didn't have to have really a whole lot of fear of tipping the thing over. Well, I concluded that he was coming at this from the right direction. I think it was a very wise observation on his part. There's another possibility also. It may be he was trying to keep my attention focused on him rather than his lady friend who is making her way down into the woods. The Foothills Parkway, after all, does not have any rest stop facilities, and, well, simply put, when you have to go, you have to go. But he did seem to take rather an in-depth look at it and wanted to know how much I liked it. We didn't get into the whole price thing at all. This actually, being a Can-Am Spyder F3, is at the low end of the totem pole in terms of its price point. I like to think I'm a fairly responsible person and don't want to spend too much on my toys, and I try to stick to that rule and followed through in this case. It does have all the safety features of the more expensive models. It has traction control, stability control, dynamic power steering, which I understand makes quite a difference when you're on the real twisties like the Tail of the Dragon or the Devil's Triangle or a road such as that. It had everything I thought I needed, and I've been very pleased with it, and I tried to express that to him. I've been riding motorcycles of some description since I was about 20 years old, and that really adds up to quite a few years. The first one I rode on was a little Honda CB150. This is when I was stationed in the Air Force down in Mississippi. And a friend who actually lived in Iowa had a friend of his that drove his car with my friend's motorcycle in the trunk. So it was pretty interesting when it arrived, and we did have some good times with it. He and his other friend, they were both from Iowa. He was proudly announcing he was from Webster City, and his friend was from Dakota City. I'd never heard of either one. But anyway, it was my first introduction in something I always wanted to do. Of course, wouldn't you know it, getting involved in a conversation with this gentleman, I had forgotten to hook up my microphone. Consequently, there's no engine sounds in the early part of the video. And I like to think that that's part of the fun, is hearing the engine run, going through the gears and all that sort of thing. I sure like it anyway. And here I am, headed towards the new section of the Parkway, which I've ridden on several times, but I've never actually taken the camera along so I could get pictures of just what it looks like. And it looks pretty great to me. I sure am enjoying seeing this. And the speed limit's 35, and well, I stuck, well, somewhat close to it. not 100%. But that's just the kid in me, I guess. Well, it's pretty obvious that I'm behind some people that aren't in much of a hurry to get anywhere, which is fine. The sights and the sounds and the smells and the colors are just wonderful. I'm enjoying them more than you can imagine. And anybody who has recently ridden on this stretch of the Parkway, I'm sure you understand perfectly what I mean. The thing I couldn't understand is why there was so much traffic today, unless people are just here for the fall colors. I know that happens, and it's at the higher elevation, at least, they are very much coming into their own. I know on the high part of the old section of the Parkway, the colors are really pretty brilliant. I'm not exactly sure what the high elevation is here on the new section, but the colors are not as dramatic. But with a beautiful day like this, right temperature, and a good machine underneath me, I'm having a fabulous time. And this old white sport utility vehicle that's crawling along, he's probably going the speed limit. Good for him. Well, this has been a great ride. Thanks for tuning in. Speedster Johnny, out.